Good afternoon. On my way to treatment. Just wanted to talk about a subject that I think is very important for all of us that are dealing with a health issue, any type of cancer. Mine's leukemia that I'm fighting, but any health issue. I want to talk about a subject I think is very important, and that is nutrition. So I'm amazed by how many people I talked to at the cancer treatment center when I was in the hospital, and I asked, what was their diet like before the diagnosis and what's their diet like now and while they're in treatment. And most of them, there's literally no change. They were eating the standard American diet before, and they're still doing that. If anything, maybe they're even eating more comfort food than before, because it is an emotional roller coaster, and sometimes you just want to pull the shades and eat a bowl of ice cream. I get it. But let's talk about this for real and why it's important. One of the things I'm experiencing that most all chemo patients talk about is the loss of appetite. And so then they experience weight loss. Talking with my doctors and nurses, they've confirmed with me that the weight loss that's happening is not fat that's being lost, it's muscle loss, weight loss. Because of our low energy and inactivity, sometimes days just not feeling like getting up and getting around. And again, that attitude of pity party where we just kind of want to sit and veg out, watch TV or something instead of doing any form of exercise. A lot of patients start losing weight, and you can see it, and it's mostly muscle mass. And that's extremely important, because our muscles are a big factor of our health. I'll link a book below that talks about recent studies that are showing proof positive that especially everybody, but especially those that are in the middle-aged to latter years of life, the muscle mass and the importance of muscle with health are critical. And you see that once, for men especially, but women as well, when we start losing our testosterone and become less active in retirement, our muscles start deteriorating, losing that, and it becomes a real challenge for our health. For those of us that are in a health crisis, our muscles are extremely important because they have so many functions in the body's taking in of nutrients and energy. I remember my first oncologist telling me that when it comes time for the transplant, they will verify that I can handle what they're going to put me through in killing the bone marrow. And one of the main factors that they determine, am I healthy enough to go through the process, is my leg muscle. Can I walk 30 minutes a day? If I can walk 30 minutes a day, then there's hope I'll make it through. That's an interesting factor that the doctors look at. You'd think, I'm sure they're looking at other things as well, but one of the key ones is your strength is seen in your muscles, and some of your strongest muscles, of course, are your leg muscles. So I've been walking every day that I can, but nutrition, we come back to that, it's so important, because while you're on chemo, you lose your appetite. I've heard people talk about it, but it was a crazy experience that I've been going through while on chemo. I'm just not hungry. Things that used to sound good, they don't sound good like I used to really enjoy. A greasy smash burger and fries, and I just don't even think about it. When I think about it, it doesn't sound good. When I go get one or make one and sit down to eat it, it's okay, but it just doesn't have the enjoyment it had before with that appetite and longing. So the chemo does something to our appetite. It affects the chemicals there, and it affects my taste buds. Things just don't taste as good. I stopped by this really cool new taco place in town, and man, the tacos are amazing looking. They have some gourmet tacos that have incredible ingredients, and when they made them and served it to me, they were just beautiful looking, all types of toppings and sauces. And I'm thinking, this is going to be great. And I start eating it, and it's bland. It's like eating a bean burrito. It's just bland. And I'm like, man, how can this place have so many good reviews and it tastes so bland? Where's their seasoning? Where's their spices? And then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm on chemo. Nothing just tastes good. And that's a part of the problem. You don't have the appetite, and things just don't taste good. So I find myself adding more salt and hot sauce and trying to spice things up just to enjoy them a little bit. But then after a while, I'm just done eating, don't want to eat anymore. One of the challenges I face in trying to maintain my weight, and even though I'd like to lose weight, I don't want to be losing muscle weight. So I'm just making myself eat, but I'll get up and start to go do something, and man, I'm feeling so weak, and I'm like, why am I so weak? And I look at the clock, it's 2 or 3 o'clock. I haven't eaten, for 5, 6, 8 hours, and I'm still not hungry, but my body's telling me I'm weak. I've got to go eat something. So the doctors recommended protein shakes, and so I've been doing a protein shake every day. We started out with whey protein. My daughter and wife said it caused bloating, so they moved on to pea protein. I've moved on and found something I really like, bone broth protein, because it has the amino acids and a number of other things, collagen and things in there as well that I think are probably helpful. So I'm doing a protein shake every day in the afternoon, so that just to keep that protein up. They want us to be getting a lot of protein because of the muscle loss. And of course, I think that muscle loss occurs even with protein if we're not active, because the body can tend to change that protein into fat and store it as opposed to build muscle with it unless we're doing some movement. So I'm trying to get a walk at least every day and doing what I can in that regards. Another product I heard about, has some studies behind it that I think is going to be helpful, is something that weightlifters and built bodybuilders use. It's creatine with HMB. The studies are showing that it really increases muscle mass. Bodybuilders, weightlifters will use it after a workout, probably along with their protein shake. And it even has studies to show that there's muscle growth, muscle building, even without much exercise. And it even works for those that are older in age that aren't getting around much. So I'm excited about those studies. That is a powder that you put in your water after a workout. So after I take my walk, I'll drink a water that's energized with that creatine and HMB. Then later in the day, I take a protein shake. And then try to get in 2 good meals a day. I was trying to get 3, but I'm just not doing it. But at least 2 good meals a day. And so far, I haven't lost much weight in this process. And the doctors like that. They don't want us getting malnourished and losing weight. But it is a real thing. Without your appetite, and when things don't taste good, it just isn't the priority it used to be. I know that sounds crazy, but it is true. Probably the most important thing that I'm doing to help with my appetite and to keep it going is I make carrot juice. I have a juicer and I make carrot juice. You can add an apple to it or cabbage, but mainly just carrots. The sweetness of the carrots and the beta carotene are super good for antioxidants, but they stimulate appetite and they stimulate some hunger. And so the people I've talked to and just sharing stories, they're saying they have no appetite and they're having to make themselves eat, and you just see them losing weight. I have some of that struggle, but it's not near like what they're talking about, and I attribute that mainly to the carrot juice that I'm doing. I'm doing green drinks where I take a lot of vegetables and I run them through my Vitamix blender so that I can get the fiber as well, and take a nice green drink every day. I'll drop the recipes down below. I think nutrition is an important part of this battle, giving my body everything that it will be helpful and needful for it to fight with the doctor's medicine, the chemo, fight against the cancer. I just really believe that nutrition and what we put into our body is going to make a difference. So I try to do as much organic foods as possible, healthy fats, healthy meats, organic vegetables. Try to think of getting a salad in with every meal, keeping fiber in, fruits as well, all very important. It's a lot when you don't have an appetite, so the carrot juice really helps stimulate that some. Oh, and there's another thing that occurs while I'm taking chemo. I don't know if it happens to you as well. I find it hard to swallow. My throat doesn't seem to want to work, especially taking the pills. Oh man, I've never had a problem taking pills, but once I'm on chemo after a few days, swallowing becomes a real effort. I actually have to think about that muscle movement to get it to work as opposed to just coming natural. Why don't you, whatever your effects are going through, your side effects or things that challenging for you in your journey, comment below and let me know what you're experiencing if you're going through any of this as well.